What's up and welcome back to my channel. Okay, so again, I don't normally talk about Inside the NBA, but another thing came up on Inside the NBA that I wanted to really comment on. So on Thursday, yesterday, the 24th, on Inside the NBA, Charles Barkley, Shaq, Kenny, they were all on the show as they usually are. And there was some commentary made about the decision about the Breonna Taylor case. And I was so proud of Charles Barkley for speaking up. Not that he hasn't spoken up before, because he's a pretty outspoken person, but I was so proud that he just, pretty much destroyed the woke narrative that we're hearing from people, like LeBron and other blue checkmark celebrities, that want to appease the mob and sound like they're woke and sound like they care about Black people. And, Charles basically just laid it out in a very plain and simple and very educated way. So I'm going to read the quote to you because I'm not going to play it here. You can Google the episode if you would like, but I'm going to go ahead and read you what he said. "It's bad this young lady lost her life," Barkley said of Taylor, "but we do have to take into account that her boyfriend did shoot at the cops and shot a cop. So like I say, even though I'm really sorry she lost her life, I don't think we can just say we can put this in the same situation as George Floyd and Ahmaud Arbery. I just don't believe that." He also went on to say about defunding the police, but I want to stop there and I'll read what he said about defunding the police once we talk about this. So one thing I really want to address is he said you can't put this in the same category as George Floyd and Ahmaud Arbery. While I think, both George Floyd and Ahmaud Arbery did not deserve to die, just as Breonna Taylor did not deserve to die, their death came as a result of their actions, okay? So I don't really, agree with what he's saying that we can't really put this in the same category, because I feel the category that we're talking about here is you have to be responsible for your actions and your choices in life. Now, in Breonna's case, this was a whole investigation and they were serving a warrant legally, and things went awry and she lost her life as a result. In George Floyd's case, they were responding to the scene of a quote unquote crime. And because Mr. Floyd was under the influence of a substance, many substances, and also was very agitated, the scene escalated and an officer, used a technique that they're not trained to do in that way. Okay. In the Ahmaud Arbery case, while I still really, don't know 100% what happened there, there, as far as the actions that were being taken, I don't believe he was being hunted down, okay, to be shot just for no reason. He clearly approached somebody with a weapon and got into it with them, okay, and he got shot as a result. So again, it's about making choices and being responsible for the consequence of those choices, regardless of whether you deserve the consequence or not, but it is a consequence nonetheless. But I love that he basically said, we have to realize her boyfriend shot first, okay? That is really what the point of this is. Had her boyfriend not shot at the police first, there would not have been retaliatory shots back at them, resulting in her death, okay? So we have to stop there. We cannot move past, and pretend like we don't know that fact, because that is a fact. If you don't shoot at the police, you don't get shot back at. If you don't pull a weapon on the police, they don't pull their weapon out. If you don't resist the police, they don't have to escalate their methods of detaining you, okay? So I'm really, really glad that he said that, because we have people like LeBron James, okay, who sit on TV and talk about how the Black man and woman are so, treated so badly and they've been suffering for so long. We all know that LeBron is not suffering at all. We all know that LeBron James can walk out onto the street and not worry about a damn thing. In all reality, okay, any person, black, white, or whatever, can walk into the street, can walk and go about their business and not have to worry about a police officer taking their life if they're not doing anything wrong in order to cause that situation to escalate to that point. Now, that's not to say that somebody of your own race might not take you out. That's a different story, okay? But we're not going to go into that. Let me keep reading what he said in regards to his thoughts on defunding the police. Charles Barkley said, and I quote, "You know, I hear these fools on TV talking about defund the police and things like that. We need police reform and prison reform and things like that because you know who ain't going to defund the cops? White neighborhoods and rich neighborhoods. So that notion they keep saying, I'm like, wait a minute, who are black people supposed to call? Ghostbusters? When we have crime in our neighborhoods, we need police reform. Like I say, white people, especially rich white people, they're always going to have cops. So we need to stop that defund or abolish the cops crap," he said. So I'm glad he said that as well. I agree with him 100%. I don't think that, defunding the police, whatever that means, isn't a good plan. I definitely think there needs to be some reform happening, but that also, is changed when people vote, educatingly voting for the leaders in their city that are going to fight for that type of reform, because that's not done at the presidential level. So I don't know if a lot of people really know that, and maybe one day I'll do a video to really explain the different levels of government and who is responsible for what. But I think people have a lot of misconception that the president of the United States is over everything, okay? Yes, he is the overseer of everything, okay? But he can't just step into, like a state like California and say, oh, well, I don't like the way you're running things. I don't agree with this. I'm going to come in and change it. Okay, he can do that in situations where it's like a dire situation and nobody's taking action. He can override at that point. But in most cases, the state has to ask for the help from the national government, which is the president. Okay, so I am really glad to see somebody like Charles Barkley stand up and speak what is right. Speak some sense. Speak something that really can connect with some type of like logical idea. Not these crazy people out there that are just like, spewing this hate and they're going to trash their city until they get what they want. And I don't even think they really know what they want or how to go about getting it. In addition to that, I was really, really happy to see that Shaq also really backed him up on what he said. Now, Shaq has always been a very big supporter of the police. In fact, he was actually deputized as a sheriff, I believe, or a sheriff's officer, honorary sheriff's officer. I don't know what that is. But yeah, he's always been a really big supporter of the police. So it's good to see two, well-known Black men who are successful, who have proven that this narrative that as the Black man, you're held down and you can't, do well in this country is a lie, and LeBron knows that as well, because he also has the great life that they have as well, Now, granted, I don't know what his life was growing up, but that doesn't make you special. Everybody has a hard life, or a lot of people have hard lives growing up, and they still overcome and become great things in life. So that's really no excuse, to say because of the color of your skin, you're held back. Okay, you're held back in your mind. That's what I believe. But the question is, will they be canceled? Because we live in this society where when somebody goes against the narrative, we immediately cancel them. Now, I have already kind of seen some people barking back on the Twitter and Instagram about what they've said. Now, I don't follow a lot of people like that, but I had to go searching for it, and I did find some, really nasty tweets calling them names and, telling them they don't know what they're talking about. Or if you go onto YouTube and look at the comments, it's disgusting. But on the other side of that, besides those few people that are going, deciding to just tear these two men down because they spoke the truth, there are triple the amount of people that are in full support of what they said. So I think that that is a really great thing. You know, I might just start watching Inside the NBA if they stay, you know, this logical about things. I don't really care to watch sports commentary, but, you know, I like to hear this type of thing. And I like, you know, to see that there are still athletes that have some common sense. You know what I mean? But again, you know, these two men in particular are not just men that are good at their sport. They are successful businessmen. So they know what it takes to be out in the world, okay? But aside from, you know, throwing a ball through a hoop or, you know, tossing a ball, you know, through whatever that is, a goalpost, you know, they're businessmen. They know what it takes, you know, to be successful and how much work that takes, you know, aside from the God-given gift that they were given to play sports. So congratulations, Shaq and Charles, for, in my mind, being the two wokest athletes that I've seen this week, because we see some here and there. But I want to know what you guys think. So please drop a comment below. Let me know if you saw the episode of Inside the NBA. Let me know if you agree with what Charles Barkley said. And if you don't agree, let me know why. Other than that, go ahead and make sure to give this video a thumbs up. Make sure to share my video, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Thank you guys so much, and have a good one. Bye-bye.